Tuesday, the 4th of April, and we are on the FTSE 100. I've just entered into a short position as the market has came down and broken below this pin bar right here from 8:45 a.m. What I will do is when the trade completes, either as a winning trade or a losing trade, I will take you through the analysis in a little bit more depth. However, basically what I'm looking at is from the Sunday analysis video, we had our long-term sloping support and resistance line, which is lining up right here. We marked this off of the daily time frame, and what we went over was if we start breaking below this level, we could look for those sell positions. Now, yesterday we broke below, and what I went over with subscribers was if we broke below the level, we could expect the FTSE to come down into 7270. It's just a little bit lower off screen. That was a medium-term forecast. However, the FTSE came down very, very strongly yesterday, tagged that area, and it has subsequently rallied higher in overnight trading. 8 a.m. we opened right here. We've pushed up into this key zone. For me this morning, this zone right here was identified as high probability areas to look for those sell positions. So as soon as we pressed up into here, I was looking for a potential signal. The market pressed up strongly. However, it has then not gone anywhere. It's tried to press higher multiple times and failed. Once we've seen the pin bar, I was happy to get into a short position. Now, what am I looking for? Well, first thing is my stop is relatively tight. It's only 10 points. Want to be a little bit careful of these previous spikes down right here. If we see the market breaking down, want to watch for reactions here. However, I am looking to take the market down for at least 1-to-1 risk to reward and potentially closing partial profits, looking to take the market down into the bottom of this zone, which is the 7300 area. Okay, so as always, I will pause the video, turn it back on when the market begins to move either one way or the other. I'll turn it on when I'm making any decisions. When I am considering exiting, considering moving my stop to break even, or closing partial profits, and I'll talk you through exactly what it is that I am doing. Okay, my stop is now at break even on this trade. So if it begins to move against me, comes back up to the entry point, I will exit the trade for break even. Now let's have a look at what this trade has been doing. We've came down into this zone below. We have seen a bullish bounce. Now, the reason I was happy to hold on to this trade, expecting a retrace, was looking at the management point I had set up where we spiked down very strongly. The market came through this level with really very little support at all. We had a little bit of rejection here, then the market came through. When I seen this, I was happy to look for that stronger move down, really down into 304 at a minimum. The market then bounced up. It has rejected multiple times once again, creating a double top. Now the first thing is I was actually looking at this as a double top. So the touch here, come down, press back up, touch here, making a lower high. So you could potentially call this a triple top. Single touch, second touch, third touch right here. Now, although we had a bullish pin bar here, why was I still happy to stay in this trade? Well, very often what you'll see a market doing is testing structure. So we break down and then we pull back and test structure. Now we've created this whole level of structure right here. You can see the market spiking down. You can see this flat area of price action right here, where we rejected multiple times. Right here. So my expectation was, if we did see a bullish bounce coming in from these levels, it was likely going to come back up and test here. Now, because we had already seen that break through the management point, I was happy to allow that retrace. Now, if we had held on that management point and not broken through that management point that I had placed, so these levels right here, what that would instead be suggesting, so if we just had this candle here at 905 and then we had started to see the market pressing up bullish once again, That would instead be suggesting to me that potentially the bulls were still in control. So we'd pressed up strongly, pulled back, pressed up, pulled back. We're holding at these levels once again. Bullish price action would to me suggest that potentially we were going to see the market press higher. However, instead we broke below very convincingly. We got a bullish pin bar. For me, the expectation was simply a retest of previous structure. Now, I also wasn't looking to buy from this area. My analysis from this morning was I would prefer to sell from this zone, and I would prefer to sell from this zone right here. So, although we got the bullish pin bar, I wasn't expecting a strong move up. Now, there was nothing that the market had done which had suggested otherwise. We'd pressed up in the morning, sure, but then we had rejected instantly as soon as we got to the key zone. We'd pressed up, tried again, failed once again at the exact same levels, and then sold off. So my analysis hadn't changed. I wasn't expecting a strong bullish rally. Happy to hold on to the trade. We pressed up, we got the retest, multiple rejections, and then the market came back down once again. Now, the only thing that has changed is now I have allowed that pullback and retest of structure. So now that we've had that retest of structure, I don't want to see it happening again. So my stop is now at break even. Just looking for the market to come down into these levels, really at the pivot point now, 7304, round about these levels. This whole section right here is where I will look to exit the trade if we get down there. So, okay, let's see how this trade gets on. When it completes, if it completes for the profit down here, or if it comes back and stops me at break even, as I've mentioned, I will go on to the higher time frame and give you a little bit of insight into the analysis that I did for today. Okay, I've exited the trade at 15 points, which is 1.5 to 1 risk to reward. So very, very nice trade. The market came down nicely after that second test of the level. So let's have a look on the daily time frame, and we will take a look at the analysis, what I was looking at from this morning, and the reason for the trade. Okay, so the first thing is this segment here. What I'm going to do is extend it so it matches up with the Sunday analysis. So we had the long-term trend line, the touch here, the touch here, the touch here. And what you can see is it lines up with the segment. So what we were doing is, just make this larger. We were looking for breaks below this level yesterday, and if we've seen that, the analysis for subscribers was look for sell positions, expectations of the market coming down into 7270. Now that all happened yesterday. That moved down to 7270. There was no way to tell it was all going to happen at once. However, it happened yesterday very, very quickly. Although on the daily time frame, this market has not broken this trend line. So we need confirmation on the daily time frame of the break, which we may get today. However, I knew on the lower time frames we were below this key level. So if the market began to press back up toward that sloping trend line, there was a very good chance that sellers would be watching at these levels and looking to sell into the market for continuation of this downward move. And that's what we did this morning. We pressed up into these key levels. We got the setup, and I took the market down. Now, the reason for not worrying so much about the bullish retrace is because from this level here, buying, essentially what you're doing is buying straight back into that trend line. It didn't make sense for me for traders to be looking at this level as a potential buy. Certainly not for sustained buying pressure. All we did was the market bounced from this level, came back up, retested up here. Okay, sorry guys, I was just turning off my emails there. So, from this level here, all we did was we bounced, bullish bounce, came back up to retest the level once again. More sellers stepped in, and the market came down very, very nicely. Okay, so that is everything for today, guys. As always, I hope that was helpful. Hope you're all having a good trading week. I'm James Orr, and thank you.